Shalom. First and foremost, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Hakodash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue, and double honors to our teachers, the beloved apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, Euakium, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four winds of the earth, as well as the men, women, and children alike, the believers. Shalom. It's your brother Karai coming with a quick lesson out of Warren Ratazah, Lord willing. I pray that it's edifying, right? Out of Warren Ratazah, and it's entitled, Where is Your Head At? The Lord says in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9 that He knows our tribulation and our poverty, but we are rich, right? So the Lord knows the curses that we're under. Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as the foreigners in the other lands, nations, countries speaking these heathen languages and keeping their customs, but through the seed line of your father, you go back to being an Israelite due to the Lord scattering us throughout the four corners of the earth as a curse in the book of Deuteronomy. So the Lord knows the curses that we're under. He knows, the scriptures say the man's eye shall be evil towards his brother. That is tender and delicate to him, roughly paraphrasing. So, and it also says the wife her eye will be evil towards her husband, and the husband's eye will be evil towards the wife, and that the husband, the father, would leave the family. All of these curses that we're under, and feminism, and all the different stresses that come with this captivity. He knows we're captives. He knows we have to work, that we have to pay bills and keep up with all these different things and facets of this life on, and put the Lord first. He knows that fight, that struggle, because he went through it, and he conquered death. He overcame the world. So he said, don't fear, because I have overcome the world for us. So he knows what we're going through. But we are to not forget, that we are rich, We're rich in faith. It says here, Revelation 2 and 9, that word for tribulation, it says pressure, persecution, burden, trouble, tribulation. Pressing together, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distresses, and straits. So the Lord knows our tribulation and what we're going through, but we're rich in faith, knowing that the kingdom to come is going to bring forth our reward. And that's why we're storing up our riches in heaven. Our minds are in heaven. The Lord, he that's what He taught us, right? To Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. All right, and your heart, that word heart goes into your mind. All right, where what you're thinking about. I'm gonna come back there. I'm gonna go here, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, if ye then be risen with Mashiach Yahushua, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High in the kingdom. Because in the Lord's Prayer, it says that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the Lord is going to bring, just as it is in heaven where the Lord is, it's going to be like that on earth very soon. And that's the kingdom, where our rewards are and our lives are, as it says, Seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth, because what we treasure most, that's where our hearts are going to be. That's what we're going to be thinking about constantly. Like my treasure, man, I'm storing treasures in heaven, you know? I'm storing treasures in heaven. So when the Lord returns, then I'm going to receive that reward. It says, set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High. Right? It says, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Because the Lord is going to do what when he returns? Beam up the elect of Israel, and right, those who turn back and sought the Lord, and give them those new bodies. 1 Corinthians 15 and 54, or around verse 50, you know. Also Jeremiah 30, around verse 30, you know. It might be chapter 33. I gotta look it up, but that's what the Lord is gonna do. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's not 30. Yeah, it's not 33 either. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Jeremiah 31 and verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And this is coming. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, right, by way of Moses, giving us the commandments, written on stone. It says, which my covenant they break, right? We made an oath with the Lord, a covenant, to keep those laws. Deuteronomy 28. It says, but we broke them, and it says, although as I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, I will put my law in their inward parts, right, in our inward parts, in our minds. So we're never going to die. We're going to be immortal because we will never sin. It's going to be for our first nature to keep the law. We're going to do it naturally. So it says, and write in their hearts. I will write it in their hearts, see, in their minds. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord Yahweh. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them. See, so when the 2/3 come back into the kingdom through childbearing, through being born again, then they're already, the law is going to be in their inward parts, and they're already going to know the Lord, and they're never going to sin again. It's all of the nation of Israel. It says, and that's forever. And it says, for saith the Lord Yahweh, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. And the kingdom will be perpetual, everlasting. So the Lord knows what we're going through, but we're storing our riches in heaven. And because when he appears, it says, Colossians 3 and 4, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. You see, so when we're going through these things, we have to remember we're storing our treasures in heaven, which is applying the law to the best of our ability, applying this wisdom and these words to the best of our ability when we're catching hell, when we're going through that tribulation. And that it says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Mortify. It says, Strong's G3499, to make dead, to put to death, to slay, of an impotent old man, to deprive of power, to destroy the strength of. So that's our flesh. our members, right? Our body. You see, this flesh, our mortal thoughts, vain thoughts that Satan try to put in our heads to tempt us. It says, which are mortify your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, which is sin. It says evil concupiscence and covetousness, which is idolatry. All of these different, things that come with this life in the flesh. We are denying all of that, and we're killing it through the spirit, spiritually killing it. It says, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. So all of these things that these people indulge in this life, and don't see and don't repent from it, and don't see nothing, urgent about changing from it, the Lord is his wrath, his extreme anger is coming upon them because they're being disobedient. It says, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. Yeah, we came out of the world. All of us was in the world, doing all manner of wickedness and abomination in the eyes and the sight of the Lord. But it says, but now ye put off all these things, all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth, because we're new creatures. We have no business speaking the way we used to in the world. And when and if we do catch ourselves speaking that way, we already know automatically that it's Satan, right? The tempter. It says, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. Right? We're putting off the old man. It says, and have put on the new man. Lying, that's to a brother or a sister, that's an offense. It says, those are the old man's deeds. It says, and have put off on the new man. Or it's like, and have put on the new man. Put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. So that's what we're doing. That's how we're storing our treasures in heaven, first and foremost, because that's showing our faith through our works. Again, Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So this light is the light is this word. Our eyes have to be single upon the kingdom, thinking upon the kingdom. Let's jump down to verse 33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So that's what we're seeking first. That's what our eyes are single on, seeking the kingdom first. And we don't have to worry about all the extra tangible facets of this life, right? We're just focusing on the important things, which is serving the Lord. We ain't worried about the little minor vain things for the most part. We're just handling business, and we're putting off the desires and the emotions of this that comes, that comes try to take over the flesh coming out of this world. We're putting off the world, and we're mortifying the members of our flesh. You see, so we have that focus and that consistent drive, that consistent diligent drive to keep plowing in this field, keep increasing the knowledge and applying it to our lives, and focusing and keeping our eyes single on that one thing, so that we have success, right? Which is salvation, which is the Lord, being pleased with us, right? Because we're dwelling with wisdom, so He's gonna show us that love and that mercy and kindness, and that's all we're trying to do. Because we repented, we broke the Lord's heart as His wife, and we, broke the law, the covenant that we made with Him. We committed adultery, spiritual adultery upon the Lord. So we're doing everything in our might with our lives that He gave us to get back in His good graces. And that's where our mind is, first and foremost, man. The kingdom, being delivered. And then the Lord he makes sure he takes care of us, make sure we're good. We ain't got to worry about all the little stuff. You know, uh, just like when the Lord was fasting right here, and I'm gonna end it. Matthew chapter 4. The Lord was focusing on what was important, the spirit. He was fasting, so he's focusing on and thinking about is the spirit. And it says Matthew 4:1. Then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. He was hungry. And it says, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. Because Yahushua was putting off the flesh. He was putting off food. He was afflicting his flesh and putting off, spiritually killing it. Because that's what we have to do when we get too distracted at times. And, we get too, it's just like when your liver gets too overloaded with toxins, and you're starting to feel, fatigue or inflammation and different things. And this is not medical advice, but you have to take those, those hours, however long it's going to be, whether if it's 6 hours, 12 hours, 24, and fast, man, to kill those distractions, that the Satan trying to bring distractions in the flesh. And that's what Yahushua was doing, so it says, that Satan tried to come and tell him to make the stones bread so that he could eat if he was the Son of Man, because Satan knew he had that power. But the Lord said, verse 4, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. And the word, these words are spirit, as it says in John 6:63. That's why it's important for us to gather and read and learn as much as possible right now, because literally some people may not think or know, but the more you increase in knowledge, man, and the spirit, the more the Lord is supping with you, the more of the spirit and faith you have. And that's actually strengthening you. It says the spirit quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you are spirit, John 6:63. So it's the spirit that's going to quicken us and strengthen us, man. It's important for us to, stock up on that first and foremost, It says, then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee. And it says, and in their hands shall they bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot against a stone. He's trying to be crafty and use the scriptures to try to trick Yahweh Shah. Psalms 91. The angel's going to, catch you when you fall. Just jump down, cast thyself down. You could fly, if you're the Son of God. I know you can do it. Just go ahead and do it. But this is what the Lord said. Yahweh said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So he's like, nah, man, don't tempt me. When we're catching hell, Satan is always trying to come in and, you're a prophet, or you're a believer, right? Just make this quick decision, or do this. Why you ain't, making haste to make a quick decision? You supposed to be, on some type of level. No, sometimes we just got to be patient. We have to just apply wisdom. Sometimes it doesn't require us to make a decision at all, but just sit and think first. First we got to think. So Satan is always trying to come in, and it says, and again the devil taketh him into an exceeding high mountain, and shew him the kingdom of the world, sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Right? And thou saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So he was trying to say, I'll give you all the kingdoms in the world. It says, then said the house unto him, get thee hence, Satan. He was like, basically, get out of here. Get behind me. For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only thou shalt serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So the Lord, he just basically applied wisdom and was saying, look, basically saying, look, you basically the Lord already knew, Salakia, the Lord already knew that he was going to receive the kingdom. He knew that he knew who he was, so he was just, but just like we know, if we keep staying diligent, we're going to get the kingdom, get that reward. But Satan always tries to come in like, oh, you could get it now. Why you ain't got it now? You look at everybody else, they got it. Why they trying to get it? Why you don't want it? This world, things in this world, whether it's self gratification, instant gratification, or things pertaining to the flesh, desires and emotions, personal, whatever it is. We all, the flesh. Everybody got flesh, man. So Satan always trying to come in and play off of it, your desires and your emotions and different things, whatever it is. And matter of fact, real quick, this is James chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to the Most High. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 6 because verse 5. Do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? So the flesh, this mortal flesh, is nothing good about it, the scriptures say. So it's constantly trying to seek something, trying to lust to have something, to obtain something, whether something it's seen or something that it heard or felt, something smelt, even food, you get, it's just the flesh try to take over, man. But it says, he giveth more grace. Wherefore he said, the Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. So when the Lord will never tempt us above that what we can bear, and He'll always make a way for us to escape. It says He giveth more grace, right? So when we are when we're being tempted, the Lord is right there. That's why He got that symbology of the world, the angel on the right shoulder, and the devil, the demon on the left shoulder, the deceiver on the left shoulder, trying to trick you. But the Lord always has the angel on the right shoulder as well. Remember that and the angel on the right shoulder is more powerful and will deliver you. If you listen to it. So it's like the Lord always makes a way and gives more grace when we're being tempted. One way or the other, He will make a way to escape. But it says to the humble. So we have to be being humble in order for Him to make that way for escape, for us to take that route, that exit route. And that comes with being humble, humbling ourselves, being humble in the mind, be allowing to say, step back and assess the situation. Like, what is the Lord trying to teach? What is the Lord teaching me in this situation? Because if we just sit back and listen, it's clear to see the Spirit is what quickens. The Spirit is moving. You can see this. You can see the Spirit like the Matrix. You can see it if you just sit back and pay attention and learn and listen. We'll be willing to be taught. That's why the teacher is very important. We have teachers as men. We have elders. And then, women have teachers, which is their husband or their fathers. So it's important to have a teacher. And the scriptures speak about having one teacher. One counselor, you could get ideas from a lot of different inspiration from a lot of different things. But a counselor, somebody that's giving you advice and teaching you, just have one. Right, that's why Yahweh Shah is our only teacher. This is only one doctrine, right? That's 100%, the 100% truth doctrine that came from the apostles and elders, man, from the '60s. One West, but some of the elders went off, and our apostles and elders stayed with it, keeping that one true, pure, 100% doctrine. All right, and because that's the only way we're gonna be able to obtain that grace from the Lord, and by being humble. Is by being willing to be taught by the correct teachers. In any situation, you can always hit a brother up, whoever you need to hit up, who's your teacher, and ask them, all right, what should I do in this situation? I'm thinking this, how does this sound? Because that's being humble, man. When you're proud and you think you already got it and you think you don't have to ask nobody and you think that you already got it off, you got it figured out, that's being proud, especially when you're in a situation that's dire or extremely, a stressful situation or, very trying situation where it's like you got to make the right decision because it's important for you to make the right decision. And we admit, like, okay, let me seek some help and counsel. As the scriptures say, let counsel go before every action. you know. So that's being us being humble. It says, submit yourselves therefore to the Most High, and resist the devil, and he will flee from you. You see, submit ourselves to the Most High and resist the devil. You know, resist leaning on our own understanding, as it says in Proverbs. We are not to lean on our own understanding, because how can we know our own way? A man's goings are of the Lord. So every day we wake up, the Lord puts us in these situations, and allows Satan to come and test us and tempt us, you know, and see what we're gonna do. We don't wake up and then put ourselves in these situations, and it may seem like we do, but if you're using wisdom, you understand that we don't do that, because a man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? You know, every morning the Lord seals our instructions when we're asleep. So we wake up, however it happens, and the Lord has everything set up, and we're just going through it like a simulator, man. We're not controlling anything, you know. So we have to submit ourselves to the Lord, having that humble mind, so that the devil will flee from us, resisting Satan in our emotions and the flesh and our own thoughts and vain thoughts. And that's a fight, man. That it's not easy. So a lot of people expect it to be easy, so that's why they give up, because they expect it to be easy, and it's not easy. Anything easy in life is not worth anything. You know, getting in shape ain't easy. You know, eating healthy ain't easy. Being healthy ain't easy. You know, being diligent, going to work, all these different things, being responsible on time, everything that comes with life, nothing is easy about it. So why then would, fighting this spiritual fight, this war, the good fight of faith, you know, when the Lord puts us in these situations and we get these temptations, you know, from the flesh or our own thoughts or whatever it is, other people especially that's close to you, people just testing you, tempting you. Why would it be easy to keep up in that fight, to be winning that fight, to try to win that fight? Why would that be easy? You know, a lot of people give up and don't begin because they think no, this is a real fight, the hardest fight of our lives. That's what this is, you know. And it says, like the beloved elder Al Rum from Birmingham, he said, this is the ultimate mental game, you know, literally the ultimate. It's like you fighting somebody that's damn near better than you. We're fighting ourselves, but the Lord got it to where it's like you're fighting the computer, but the computer is better. So it's like you gotta be on your, you gotta really be on point. It's not easy, but it says, draw nigh to the Most High, and He will draw nigh to you, and that's the first step. Is having that humble mind, and the scriptures say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So the beginning of coming to the Lord is fearing Him. So it says, draw nigh to Him, and He will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, your minds, ye double-minded. You know, and it's the only way to cleanse our hands and purify our hearts, our minds, is by coming into this by the knowledge and wisdom of the Lord. You know, the scriptures say that the word is what cleanses you, roughly paraphrasing. And also, how can a man cleanse his own way? Is by taking heed to the word in Psalms. All right, it's the word that washes us. So it says, let's see. Yep. I'm going to go down a couple verses. It says, verse 9, be afflicted and mourn and weep. It says, let your laughter be turned into mourning and your joy into heaviness. The Lord's saying this is a good thing for you to do. It's nothing wrong with that, right? When you fast, you're not just happy as hell. You mourning. You afflicting your soul. And that's pure. That's pleasing to the Lord. That's why it's a day of atonement, right? Every year, because that's pleasing to the Lord, right? And it says, so let our laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and He shall lift you up. All right? He shall lift you up. All right? So that's basically the point. You know, just, you know, where's our head at in this fight, you know? Let's see. First Peter, I'm gonna grab this real quick. First Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may devour. So constantly, we're gonna be attacked, man. That comes with it. That's what this thing is all about. Those who stood so stiffly, for the name of the Lord, through that came out of affliction and tribulation. We're coming out of great tribulation. We're going into great tribulation right now. We're entering into it, and we're gonna come out of Lord's will. Us being a part of that number, the elect is gonna come out of this great tribulation, right? Standing so stiffly for the name of the Lord with the white garments, being made into those new creatures, applying this, putting and fighting that good fight of faith and overcoming it. As it says, he that overcometh temptation will receive a crown. It says, because the Satan is always, the devil is always out. Peter said that Satan desires to sift you, but be of good cheer, because I have prayed for thee, that he does not sift you. Roughly paraphrasing, the Lord is praying for the elect, man. The Lord is with us every step of the way. We just gotta pay attention and be humble. Again, it says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Yeah, the hopeful elect, we're all going through this temptation and this trial period to be tried as that gold and that fire to come out. You see, it says, but the Most High of all grace, who hath called us into his eternal glory by Yahushua Mashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. And that's what the Lord is doing. He, after we're suffering, having patience and learning, then the Lord he's perfecting us. He's establishing us through this knowledge and wisdom. He's going to strengthen us and settle us in the kingdom, Lord's will, man. Right? It says, to him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. All right. So yeah, to him be glory and ever, because he's the one that's putting us together. And to be put together, we had to be broken down, because the world put us together first. So we got to be disassembled and broken down, so the Lord could put us back together. That's why it says he wounds, right? The Lord wounds, but he heals. He has to wound us to whip us into shape, to chasten us, to correct us, James chapter 1 and verse 12, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So the Lord have made you a promise, man. We can't go and just give in to the temptation, that every temptation that comes up. I mean, we ain't perfect. If a just man's gonna fall 7 times, but he's gonna get back up again and not fall into mischief. So we gonna fall, but that comes with it. But we gotta, all right, get back up real quick, dust ourselves off, keep pushing, like, and try not to fall from that same fall. Try not to make that same mistake again, so we can get those crowns of life. That's what it's all about. Ain't nothing in this life worth anything compared to the glory, it's going to be revealed in the elect. It says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So he ain't trying to, when he told Satan to go test Job, he wasn't trying to, tempt Job to go off and to, really, tempt him with evil. No, he was just testing Job to test where his faith was at. He was testing him and telling Satan, look, you could do anything to him, just don't put your hands on him, don't kill him, and I bet he won't deny me. I bet he won't, blaspheme my name. And Job didn't. And Job, he kept the faith to the end, and the Lord blessed him times, however many fold, and gave him everything back that he took from him. The Lord gave him everything back. So the Lord is not tempting, but it says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So people always want to say, like they say in the world, like, to be cliche, goddamn, or some, when bad things happen, they say goddamn, but really, it's the Lord is just testing you. He's just testing us. So it's like a lot of times we the flesh wants to say, like, oh man, God's just trying to, trying to test me and pick on me. But no, it's just this is required. This is what comes with it, and we got to know when we're being tested and tempted by Satan, and when we're being attacked. This is a lot of attacks constantly throughout the day, and we got to know that that's what it is. It's a spiritual attack, so we got to have our shields up. And it's going into a different lesson, but I guess it's just two lessons combined. A shield, and knowing where our mind is at, like in this fight, this spiritual fight. Ephesians 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And the whole armor comes with, first and foremost, this word. This is the power of the Lord's might, our shield and buckler. It says, and we got to put on the whole armor. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's why it says that the devil he's roaming as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour constantly. And he gets on, people that situations that he's bringing up from every area of life. Everything is constantly a battle, a test, a fight. That's because Satan's out to get you. He's out to get us. It's not a mistake. You think the Lord don't know that you think that Satan don't know that you believe in the Lord, man? You think that you just out here just under the radar from Satan? No, he got you right there on the board with your face on the board with attack on it, pinned against the board. You the top 5, suspects, most wanted. So no, man, we not gonna have a day where it's just gonna be skating by and it's just gonna be all lolly-da, peaches and lilies and dandies. But and then if that is happening, like the apostles and elders always say, you better expect a curveball to come in there, a monkey wrench or something, to some extent. Don't get too comfortable. Be on your P's and Q's, man. And thank the Lord when we get, those times of just chilling, just peace. But we got to understand that this is not about peace. This is about fighting. This is about overcoming this tempter that's constantly trying to sift you and take you out of the truth today. He want to take you out today, tonight, tomorrow. So this is constantly a fight, we in the spiritual war. We putting on the whole armor. It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand within the evil day, and having done all to stand. And what's that armor? It says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Applying this word, actually putting feet to it and applying it. Applying this word is a breastplate of righteousness, being, applying, using wisdom, in different decisions, and all our decisions to the best of our ability. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye may be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So it's constantly, if the Lord is telling you to pick up a shield of faith, which is this word, and apply it, it's because you're going to be constantly being attacked. You're going to have to apply this word in your life because you're going to be being attacked by Satan in every situation. He's going to be coming at you when you're at home, when you could be in your own quarters, in your own, room, and you're being attacked. It ain't nowhere Satan can't get you, man. Where it will try to get to you. Look at Job, the book of Job, He was able to infiltrate every area of Job's life. So that's the Lord allows Satan, to an extent to be able to tempt us. All right. So we need this whole armor, that shield to block out the bullshit that's coming at us, this BS information that's trying to trick us and deceive us into thinking something different than what the Lord has going on. The Lord has us applying this doctrine, and he has prophecy going on. He has his word, powering the life of his creation is powered by this wisdom. So this wisdom is the mother of all, everything, of all things. So if this wisdom is a shield, it's a all of this armor has to do with wisdom. It means that we need to be applying this wisdom, and because and is this disinformation coming all day, every day, right? BS that Satan is trying to put in our minds to get us to believe and go off and do this different and believe that. No, that we got the shield. That's the most important thing, the shield of faith, quenching all the fiery darts of the wicked. And it says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So the helmet of salvation, again, first and foremost, seeking the kingdom first. And all these things will be added unto us. And praying, right? Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So we always watching. We got to stay watching and circumspect, because the devil is constantly roaring, trying to take you out. You got something. What is it? You got something on your back, a target on your back, basically, spiritually, and Satan is constantly trying to see how he could come at you again. This time, come at you stronger. So we got to constantly keep trying to, increase and level up through the Spirit as well. Constantly watching and praying, to persevere with all perseverance, to win, persistency, to win, to overcome, receiving those crowns. All right, but Adawan Ratazah, Lord's will, I pray this lesson was edifying, ending it giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwame Asharala, Abba Babal Soon, Shalom.